All right, welcome back, all you Tulsi-crats, Bernie-crats, Indies, everyone else in between. My name is Dave, and this is the Radical Independent. Had kind of a weird weekend, and wasn't sure I even wanted to do any videos this week. I was like, really? Because of all the Bernie people going after all the Tulsi people. And then I said, you know what? We're just going to have to agree to disagree on some stuff. I would support Tulsi Gabbard right until the end, and guess what? I have a little platform here, and I will continue to say Tulsi is the best candidate running, whether you like the word choice or not. Speaking of choice, we have no choice in this particular story, and I want to outline how, if you wanted to impeach Donald Trump, and also put the entire establishment on notice, rather than it being just some tribal act because you don't like the fact that your guy basically was outed in a memo which shows that he and his son are likely corrupt, and Trump was doing a little Nixon on them and getting paranoid and saying we need to look into this. It's kind of a casual statement, actually, and I don't think it rises to the level of impeachment. But you know what it does? It puts the media, at least, in a place where they're uncomfortable. Because do they have to look at Joe Biden? Yes, they should. Will they? Probably not. But they're trying to impeach Donald Trump on some words that they're trying to make, I guess, worse or more of a problem than they actually are. Whereas this story from Reuters, here's the headline: U.S. to provide Venezuela's Guaido with $52 million in funding. What? Seriously? So Guaido, this failed coup attempt, I guess, continues on. And anytime we do a coup on another country, where we try to instigate regime change or even start a regime change war, stuff hasn't really been working, so now we're going to send them money. By the way, did Congress vote on this? Did someone tell me if Congress voted on this proposal? It just says U.S. to provide. How is that provision happening? Are we taking the money from a bank somewhere? Whose money is that? Is it my money? It's got to be partly our money, right? Tax money and so forth. So, nobody voted on it. Congress didn't take a vote. The people really don't know too much about it. I mean, unless they're reading Reuters, which, I don't know, Reuters is kind of a mainstream news source, so they're all happy to report this. They use the word provide here. United States said on Tuesday it will provide $52 million. Notice the word provide isn't the word give. They'll provide them. It's a really interesting word when you think of the context here. And I typically don't dig in this deep into something, but this rises to the level of impeachment. And why won't it even be brought up as an impeachable offense? Well, then, the entire deep state, the Democratic Party establishment, the Republican Party establishment, neo-libs, neo-cons, even a few so-called progressives and so-called hardcore conservatives, hey, they're not really that concerned that we're providing Venezuela $52 million, and the funding goes to Guaido, and it says an escalation of support even as his push to oust socialist President Nicolas Maduro stalls. Now, this is why I don't like the word socialist. See how the media here, they don't even have to call this guy socialist, and they do. Because here's where the establishment media draws the line. They say, we're going to do some labeling here. Now, when they don't want to label, or if they want to create a label that really doesn't apply, they do that all the time. Here they make sure that Maduro is called a socialist. And I tell people, populism, economic populism, call it capitalism if you want to, with some serious controls, however you want to delicately influence people and their behavior. And rather than wasting time trying to educate or re-educate, you can go right to each issue and say, what do you prefer? It's kind of what Bernie Sanders did when he went to the Fox town hall, if you remember. He was brilliant there. It was like the best moment of the campaign when I watched that entire town hall, and I'm like, now why is it that, the Democrat tribalists don't want to go on Fox News because it's an evil place. Bernie Sanders, however, says, you know what? I'd like some of these people to see my proposals. Because some of these people voted for Obama, then they voted for Trump. Now I want them to get off the neo-lib, neo-con express and come on over to Team Bernie. Tulsi Gabbard does the same thing typically. She basically speaks to each issue. So again, I wanted to talk about this word because I got a lecture on Twitter yesterday. I just think you need different branding. You know, eco-socialist, is that better? Not really, because socialist is still in there. Get rid of it. You know, eco-populist. I don't know. There are better ways to do it. And you want to get more people interested in your platform. People are going to say, gee, I was kind of scared because that word socialist was in there. But what you're advocating for seems kind of commonsensical. Anyway, this article goes on. The United States Agency for International Development. I didn't even know we had this. The abbreviation for this is USAID. You said, not what I said, because I didn't say 52 million. You said 52 million. I didn't say 52 million. Wow. Jimmy Dore could probably use that, and he doesn't even have to give me credit. Send me another t-shirt or something, Jimmy. Anyway, I bought the first one. I'm supporting Jimmy Dore, independent media. All right, so let me read this. The USA of ID, or USAID, said in a statement that the funding would go towards independent media, not me, civil society, the health sector, and the opposition-controlled National Assembly, which is led by Guaido. So, is that constitutional? Is it in the... See, here's the thing. Is it in the Constitution that we're not supposed to do this stuff? Because I think it is. I think there are clauses. I think the way things are worded. I think the intent, if you're going to be a constitutional originalist, these guys were not into foreign entanglements. All you got to do is look at their writings. This is us trying to pick a winner, trying to influence the winner, trying to say this opposition-controlled National Assembly is the way to go. And this guy Guaido, who's been a failure so far to oust Maduro, we're going to support him even though it doesn't look so good. But Guaido has been recognized as Venezuela's rightful leader by more than 50 countries, including the United States, but Maduro remains in power with the backing of the armed forces in countries like Cuba, Russia, and China. So we're fighting a little mini proxy war here, and we just threw another $52 million into it without congressional approval, without the knowledge of most of the American people. That is an impeachable offense, as is the nepotism going on between Donald Trump and his daughter, Ivanka, and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. The fact that he lobbed missiles into Syria, to me, that's an impeachable offense, because you need an authorization to do that. You don't need just the media cheerleading you. You don't need Lindsey Graham going, yeah, this is great. This president's awesome. Thank goodness he's got the backbone to do this. Yes, let's just keep disrupting the world stage so we can create a bigger migrant problem, which then we can blame on brown people. When they come here, we can say, well, we don't want these immigrants coming here. And even though, like I've said before, I think we need the front door on the house, we don't take it off, we don't also create a problem and then blame it on the people rather than blame it on ourselves, because we're the ones that created the problem. And it's an unconstitutional thing that created the problem. So, yes, look, I don't want a dog and pony show. I don't want a circus. If you're going to impeach this guy, say, hey, your government is providing $52 million to this guy Guaido. Nobody voted on that. And the taxpayers overwhelmingly do not want this to happen. Overwhelmingly, taxpayers do not want this to happen. Okay? So those are impeachable offenses. And this one here, I would put right at the top. Now, if you're saying, well, Dave, so if they impeach on this memo, are you going to be upset? Yeah, because it sets a precedent that you're impeaching on something that's really not that impeachable. And so the next guy who gets in there, or gal, woman, sorry, don't want to sound sexist, I'm just speaking off the cuff here. The next person who gets in there and something minor like that, they have a communication with somebody, a foreign leader or whatever, and you got a whistleblower who says, yep, this is the smoking gun. And I'm sitting there going, no, that's not much of a smoking gun. That's like a water pistol, okay? This is a smoking gun right here. $52 million to Venezuela. And this story won't be on anyone's radar at all today. All right, that's my video. If you want to impeach Donald Trump, here's your ammo. Here's your ammo right here. Stop with the nonsensical Russian hoaxing and Ukrainian hoaxing. Let's go for something real. The problem is most of our government, the way it operates currently, would be guilty or in on this, and that's why they'll never impeach on something with this much substance. All right, see you soon.